The beautiful sunrise. What's going on, guys? A beautiful sunrise today. I don't know why my internet's acting up. Hopefully it doesn't go down right now on you guys. I'm just here having a beautiful day, a beautiful night. Hopefully everybody's having a good time today, waking up. Maybe you're going to bed, or maybe even you're having lunch. But hopefully everything is fine. My internet's being a little choppy, man. I don't know why. So I'm just here having a good morning, man. It's a beautiful morning. I just watch my sunrise, I have my coffee, and I just think about positive things throughout the day, guys. Just positive things to think about, man. There's so much negative out there that you really got to fill yourself up with, like, maybe a lot of coffee in the morning. I've got my medication, my Mary Jane. So, I do two Mary Jane. I get up with my coffee, maybe lay back down by the time lunch comes, and just try to enjoy life the way it's supposed to be enjoyed, right? We're not supposed to be all stressed out about bills and work and, family life and all of these things that are bringing people down are supposed to be enjoyments. Like work was supposed to be an enjoyment. We were supposed to go out and forage and hunt with our family and our friends. We were supposed to come back happy with a meal. And then people were gathering in the village. You know what I mean? The children were playing. They were learning how to survive. They weren't learning 2 plus 2 equals 4 and make sure you stay in line or your butt's getting out that door, right? So we don't need to be like teaching our kids 2 plus 2. Yeah, it helps, but why don't we teach them a little bit about surviving in life instead of teaching them crap they don't need till they're 18 and then sending them out into a cruel and harsh um, world unprepared. There are 12 self deletions in Canada every day. Every day, 12 self deletions. Me and my neighbor were talking about it yesterday, and we're like, why is that? It's because it's so stressful. People never used to know about self deletion a long time ago. That only happened little times, never really. You know what I mean? We all had what we wanted and what we needed. Like before, work was okay. You used to be able to work and you used to be able to support your family. You would come home after 40 hours, you would have your house, you would have your car, your wife would be perfectly taken care of, your kids would be perfectly taken care of, you would have retirement money. That was maybe a different time than now. Now you're working paycheck to paycheck and you're living off a credit card, or you're living off a loan, or your car's not paid off for 20 years. Who wants to pay off a car for 20 years? Like, come on. So these are the things that are stressing everybody out. And really, you just need that positive affirmation in the morning. You need to get away from whatever doom scrolling you're doing, and you need to watch a good sunrise, right? You need to hear nature. You need to feel nature. You need to feel connected to the earth. Yes, there's a connection between you and the earth. There is a big connection between you and the earth. The energy flows. Yes, sometimes I walk barefoot out there, guys. Let me check the chat for a while. Hello, mortals. Hello, Lucifer. Who be supporting their family? Well, I don't know. I hopefully people support their family. I do not have family to support, so I've heard that joke about the blonde with the data in one ear. I had to add a transfer. I think you were in my chat before, Lucifer. Nice to see you, buddy. Yeah, so positive things is what you need in the morning. So that's why I'm walking in the morning with my phone most mornings when it's out. And then at the sunset, I'm walking in the sunset too, just trying to make sure that people have a good story to hear and a positive message out there, right? So my name is Loose Screws News. Thank you for the hearts, guys. Thank you for the likes. My name is Loose Screws News, and yes, I'm a protest channel. I protest my government, And I just protest bad apples all around, whether you're a bad apple citizen, a bad apple mayor, a bad apple city councilor, if you're a bad apple cop, or if you're a bad apple rich person, I'm going to be outside of your spot eventually protesting. So that's what I've started this channel for. And my first protest is coming up on the 20th of October, guys. I'm going to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I'm protesting them trying to put our children in prison. Yes, they're trying to put cops in every school in Canada, trying to think that we're part of the United States or something. They're trying to become the 51st state. I think Doug Ford, the guy who's in charge of my 15 million people here, he's in charge of 15 million people, and I think he's trying to become part of America. Guys, sorry about that, man. Hey, sorry about that, man. Yeah, we got maple sticks, we got maple syrup and hockey sticks, right? I don't know why my internet's going down. I got a strong connection right now. So we're in Ontario, Verner, Ontario, Canada, my friend. Verner, Ontario, Canada. Let me put my phone back down. Every time I close the window to keep the cold out, my internet goes off. So yeah, I'm in Ontario, Canada, Verner, Ontario. And there was a protest just recently at the um, Sudbury, Ontario um, school board about cameras being put into, police being put into every school in Ontario. So that will be my first protest. Technically, my second protest I'm going to. My first protest was the one that started this channel. So I'll be going there and I'll be walking around Toronto talking for maybe 3 hours in the morning on the 20th. Try to catch a nice sunrise up there and then walk around, get a good audience, 400 or 500 people watching until I go to the protest. And hopefully there's thousands of people there just screaming at this guy. Because we do not want to turn our schools into a preschool to prison pipeline. The prison industry, the drug industry, and the grocery store industry, and the telecom industry are just eating all of our finances away, right? Let alone the price of houses and the price of rent. There's certain things we control and certain things we can't control. So we can control the budgets of the police. And for them to go on to put more cops in the schools and more cops in the schools criminalizing our children, where does that money come from? That money comes from you and me. Instead of putting cops in the school, why don't we put a cop on the side of the road catching a drunk driver who's going to drive through a school zone and mow down our kids? Do you not think that would be better resources spent on a cop 40 hours a week at the school? Why is a cop with our children 40 hours a week? Do you guys know that only 1% of cops are ever found guilty of the charges they are accused of? 1% of cops who assault somebody, whether it's the SA assault or whether it's a regular assault, only 1% of cops are ever found guilty of the charges they are accused of. Almost 50% of cops, in a statistic, have admitted to domestic abuse, either abusing their wife or their children. Are these the people with their superiority complex of never being held accountable, the ones we want around our children? Are those the ones we want teaching our kids? Literally, like we gave them an inch and we let them come in our schools and we let the cop come twice a year to talk about computer safety and, all those safety things that kids need. So once you give an abuser an inch, they start taking a mile. So we gave these cops an inch, right? We said, okay, we believe it's good for you to come in and talk about computer safety and predators and all those things with our kids. All right. So the next step now is to just put one cop in every school full time. Then comes the metal detectors. Then comes the locker searches. Then comes the kids. When you're driving down the street and you see a cop in your rear view mirror, how nervous do you get, right? Literally, I've been in that situation where I've made mistakes because there was a cop in my rearview mirror and they pulled me over. And I'm trying to explain to the officer, I made that mistake because I was over concentrating because you were there. Now, is this Are these the men and women we want with our children all day in school? Do we want our children to be worried from the minute they get up till the minute they leave school that some um, officer is going to mess up the rest of their life? Do you know where bad cops are put? Do you guys know where they put the bad cops? They don't put them on the street because they're going to get a lawsuit for the city. They put them at the courthouse in the basement. They put them at the police station when they're doing paperwork, or they put them in the schools. Nobody's going to abuse a child, right? So they get these bad apple cops that they can't put on the street, and they got to give them desk duty, or they got to put them in the lunchrooms at the school, or they got to put them at the metal detectors at the school. This is not to protect your kids. This is to keep their friends working once their friends have messed up. There's only so many desk jobs at the police station that they can stick these bad apples in. So now the plan is to keep these bad apples employed by putting them with our children in the schools, walking down the school hallway, harassing our children. There is no way I'm going to let that happen. I'm going to that protest, and I'm hoping that it can do something, even though I know once the government makes up their mind, there's nothing the people can do. So they're literally trying to squash dissent. Dissent means like people who are going to go against the government or something, right? So literally they're going to have metal detectors in there, and they're going to be scanning these kids for dissent. Oh, you don't think like us, so we're going to criminalize you or whatever. Do you know what happens when cops go into school? It's the minorities and the poor people and those people that the cops start to brutalize. That's not true. They put cops who are about to retire. That's not true either, my friend. I've seen fit young cops at the school, and they're there because they cannot be trusted on the street. The cops who are about to retire, they're still doing work. They're usually like higher up in the chain of command too. Like this guy's gonna make excuses, CJ, but CJ is wrong. He doesn't want you to know that they're there to brutalize and pressure your kids to think like them, be like them. This is the Indian residential school thing all starting over again. That's what it is. It's going to be the Indian residential schools all started over again. You don't think like us, talk like us, walk like us, then you're not worthy. And then we're going to put a cop right at the school door to make sure that you are thinking, walking, talking, and acting just like the rest of us. This is not what we want. We do not want a bunch of mindless zombies walking around a country thinking and acting the same. That's where you get North Korea. You have to have the same haircut. You have to have the same walk, the same talk. Clap when you gotta clap. You know, we don't want that in any of our countries. We want to raise children independent without fear of repercussions until they're a certain age. At least let them go to school without thinking they're going to get arrested. You know, maybe they're going to do one or two things and experiment like me and you.